Alright, we got the Springfield Hellcat today. This is actually the RDP, but all the Hellcats are going to disassemble the same. Now on the RDP, we're going to go ahead and take the flash suppressor right here, and basically to take it off, you've got this little piece right here. If we can see it, you push this down actually. You see how when I pushed it down, it started twisting. So the little piece on the bottom, you push down, it's a little lock. You can hear it clicking. And it will click until it gets to a certain point. There's a little lock spot in there, but then it will free spin once it gets to a certain point. So go ahead and take that off, set it to the side, and we can clean it. Now, to pull the Hellcat apart, I've already checked it. It's magazine empty, nothing in the chamber. I checked it before I started the video. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lock the slide back. And this one does a little different. You line the little notch up right there. Most of them go this way. This end is what moves, but this end's what moves. We're going to move this end clockwise. We're going to move it up. So we're basically just going to twist it up like that. And when we get it twisted up, it frees everything inside. So we're going to release the slide lock. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to pull it off. So the frame totally disassembled for cleaning. So we're going to set it to the side. Now, for the slide, now to clean it, I personally would suggest go ahead and pull your red dot off. I wouldn't want chemicals getting on my red dot, but it's just a couple of Torx bits. So you would Torx them off, set it to the side, then you clean your whole slide. And also you can get you some good wipes. And I prefer the Zeiss wipes for my scopes and stuff, for my red dots, my scopes, anything. So you can look up Zeiss glass wipes, and you can get them online typically off like Amazon and stuff to clean your red dots and stuff with. Alright, so to remove the spring, we're going to push forward, pull up and out. So forward, hold on to it, up and out, just like that, nothing to it. Set it to the side. Do remember the big part goes toward the front, the small part goes toward the rear. And it looks different. You got a hole in the front, that's a solid in the rear. So sit it down. Again, the barrel, just like all the other barrels, push forward, pull up, pull out. So we're going to push it forward, pull up, and pull out. Alright, so the Hellcat is totally disassembled outside of the red dot. Again, I suggest you take your little Torx screws, your little Torx bits, take that off, set it aside, and then clean it. I would not personally clean it with this on there. This is up to you, but I would not, because you're more likely to mess up a very expensive part right here. Set it to the side, get it out of the way. You don't want any of the chemicals on this red dot. And then once you've got it cleaned, you've got everything dried back, and you put it back together, you put your red dot back on. And again, I use the Zeiss, because Zeiss makes really high-end scopes, so I use their wipes. And you can buy them in a big box for very cheap, for like 20 bucks or something. You can, it's a few hundred in a box. So I would go that route. Go to your Zeiss wipes. So it's disassembled. Now we can go clean it, and then we can come back and put it back together. If you would, just do us a favor and go ahead and like and subscribe. If this has helped you out some, we'd really appreciate that, because it would help a lot of other people. Thanks. Alright, we're going to put it back together. We're going to go in the same way it come apart. So the big hole, right down in there, the little bit bigger hole right there, we're going to go in the barrel hole and slide back. You see it seated there. Now we're going to take the rod, we're going to put it in the rod hole. The hole in the rod, the front piece of the rod, is the part with the hole, and it goes this way. And I'm going to hold the barrel back. Now if you can see, you've got your little you've got two spots right here. You got a slant right here, and then you got your actual notch right here. So we're going to sit it down in that notch. So we're going to go here, push, seat it down in that notch. Make sure you're not on that slant, on the little part with the little curved groove in it. You're down on the flat part. And if you are, it is assembled and ready to go. Now we can go ahead and put this back on if we would like. We're going to start. To start it, you've got to push your little button right here. If you can see that, that pushes down. So to get it started, we've got to push in, and then it will start. There we go. If it gives you some trouble, don't worry about it. Just keep messing with it till you get it. Now it will stop, and it doesn't look right stop, so you've got to go back and you've got to push your little button down and you've got to get it past that part. And you got to keep pushing it because it will click. Alright, there it clicked in place, but that's as far as it'll go, but it will click back here as well, and that's not all the way. So there's a couple times it will actually click and it's not all the way seated. So make sure you've got it to where it won't go any further. Right there's the in, so I'm going to back it back out and click it in. So make sure you get this seated properly because we don't want it too far off. You don't want it loose. You want it nice and tight because that bullet is going to go through there. You don't want that thing loose and have some accidents going on. Alright, to put the frame back on, these little grooves, these grooves are not as well defined as some of the others. This one's pretty good right here. So you've got this groove right there, and you got the same thing over there. We're going to line them up with your little wings right here. So we can start back here. We're going to line them up, make sure that goes in just like that. We're going to pull it back. We're going to lock the slide lock right here. So when we pull it back, you see that right there, and we'll push it up in that groove. That's locked. Now we're going to push this counterclockwise. You hear it click. We're going to drop it. We're going to rack it. And this is good to go. This is the Hellcat RDP, but all the Hellcats do the exact same thing. And it's fully assembled and it's ready to go do some shooting.